What's up, guys? Welcome back to the YouTube channel, and today we're gonna do a little bit of a kit bash or a figure fix-up with the DC Multiverse 1989 Michael Keaton Batman from McFarlane Toys. And we're gonna try to do something today that I've seen online, but I've never actually seen like the process, the complete it. So we're just gonna kind of learn together on how to do this. I have seen people take the Mezco head sculpt and put it on this body, and just by looking at these two, the Mezco captures Michael Keaton's likeness a lot better. Plus, because this cowl is all one piece, the silhouette works much better, to recreate that look for Michael Keaton. And these figures with the swappable heads had a magnet on it, so we're gonna see if we can make that work with this figure. Now, the Mezco itself is a much more expensive figure than this $22.99 figure here. So obviously that head sculpt's gonna look better. But every once in a while, I'll get on eBay or Mercari and I see people selling just parts to, Mezcos or Mafexes or, some higher end figures. And I always, whenever I find a deal on that kind of stuff, I like to scoop it up and upgrade another figure. So that's what we're gonna try to do today. I'm not sure how much will actually be captured on camera, but I am gonna try to document this as much as I can. My first step is I'm gonna try to safely heat up this body and see if we can get that upper part of the cowl, the logo and all, off of that torso. So I'm gonna play around with that, and we're gonna see if we can create a much better looking figure for my own display. So let's go ahead and jump into it. All right, so I put this guy in hot water, and the cowl is really not glued down on the sides or anything, and this part of the cowl is, I guess, glued or attached to the emblem. The emblem's kind of like a separate piece, or at least this easily kind of separated from it. So, we're getting there. We're almost there. If we can look up in here. Yeah, it's this one big block that's starting to separate. I think what I'm going to do is just come in with an X-Acto knife and just cut it off there, and then we'll kind of see what we're working with. Now, the interesting thing is, once we get this part off, since the emblem stayed, we still have the emblem on the Mezco one, so we'll have to see how, we'll probably just need to get an X-Acto knife up under that and get it removed. But I'm gonna slice this neck from up under here, up in there, to get this off. All right, so I dunked him back in the hot water, and I actually didn't have to slice anything. I kept getting, make sure it was getting hotter and hotter, and then I was able to pull the cowl piece just right out. You see that little plastic tab that fits right into that neck piece. So I pulled that out, and then our cape still looped together intact. Now, don't necessarily recommend putting a cloth cape in hot water, but since this wasn't a wired cape, I wasn't too concerned about that. We're just gonna have to let that dry. But this is what we're working with now. Let's just kind of take the Mezco head, fit it on top. It'll be interesting. I think what I'm gonna have to do is probably cut away this hole now that big blocky peg was plugging into. I'm gonna have to go ahead and trim that down so this can fit all the way down onto the body. See, it almost wants to, but we need to get that out of the way, and then I'm gonna have to get the X-Acto knife, and we'll get this logo, the bat emblem, off of this body. So that's the next step. All right, so just by using a little X-Acto knife, I was able to get this little piece off of there. So now this can actually kind of sit down, the magnet there. It'll be a nice, this little cavity will be a nice place to put a magnet. So this magnet can just snap in right here on the body. Now the only thing that's keeping this from getting all the way flush is the old emblem. So I got to be very careful with this because I don't want to gap that chest up too much, because as you can see, this emblem is slightly smaller than that one, but that's the next task. I'm going to have to be very, very precise with my cutting, but that's what we're going to have to do. All right, here we go. This is with the bat symbol removed, and it's a separate piece that's kind of goes down into this indention here. So that's so honestly, I just kind of got the X-Acto knife kind of back here first, and then I honestly was able just to peel it out. So now we got a space. Let's see how well this lines up when we put this head down. All right, it can actually go right into that gap. My only issue is I wanted to put a magnet here. I feel like naturally it's going to want to sit right here, but I may have to, we'll play around. We'll see if a magnet can get it to sit right where it needs to. I think the more permanent option would be to super glue here and just press that into place and hold it right there. But we're also going to have to get the cape under there too. So I'm going to keep playing around, but we are close to the finish line here. All right, here we are. I have super glued a magnet down inside of there. Now the size of this guy is a little smaller than what's on the bottom of the head, but I'm hoping that gives us enough clearance. And there we go. The cowl sits far enough down on top of that torso where it covers the gap where the old emblem was. So we're looking good there. Let's test the strength of the magnet. Yep, that's going to hold on there. The next test will be our cape. So let's see if I can do this on camera. We're going to remove the cowl again. Slide the cape on there. Yeah, get it lined up right where it drapes where it needs to. And there we go. Look at that. That is Michael Keaton, 89 Batman. Now let me see if I can, I think the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to apply a little bit of heat to the cowl here, because it's sticking up a little bit. So I'm going to, on both sides. So the last thing I'm going to do, and then we're going to get into some comparisons now that we have this finished. I'm going to apply some heat to the top of the cowl and kind of hold it in place so it'll kind of sit where it needs to. But yeah, we are there. That is the look. So let me make that slight little adjustment by heating up the cowl to get these little pointers down, and then we'll compare this Michael Keaton Batman to my other Batman figures. All right, here we are with the finished product of this 1989 Michael Keaton Batman, standing up against the Batman Begins from McFarlane Toys, Christian Bale Dark Knight, and then the Fonjoy Justice League Ben Affleck Batman. And I think these look great together. I think this is, it's kind of crazy because this is coming from like, a 6-inch, 1/12 scale figure onto a 7-inch 1/10 scaled figure. But now I feel like the head sizes match up the way it's supposed to in actual scale. I know Michael Keaton's probably the shortest out of these three actors, so that works really well. And I want my Ben Affleck one to be the biggest, beefiest of the Batman. But look at that. I really like the way this came out. The cowl sits really flush into that little spot on the torso. I didn't know it was going to fit so well on the chest, but it does. And I am very happy with how this came out. I'm going to pull up a side-by-side of the original and the original head, and it just makes a big difference. This Mezco head is way more lifelike. And Honestly, I didn't think the stock figure was all that bad, but it just makes a difference having this correct cowl, has the right head shape and the right facial features. Makes a big difference, and it looks really good. Now I realize with this mod we've lost articulation, but we upgraded so much in aesthetic that I think that makes the difference. So overall, I'm very pleased with this. The only thing I might look into doing is maybe getting a wired cape. This one, it drapes fairly well, but it kind of coming over the shoulder. It kind of flares out at the top a little bit. I might try to pull it back a little further and see if that makes a difference, but maybe a wired cape might be the next upgrade for this figure. But I want to hear what y'all think about this upgrade. I want to know if y'all think this is a big improvement, a marginal improvement, or a complete waste of time. Whatever you may think about it, I want to hear below. So please leave that comment. Let me know if you're going to try this, if you can find one of these heads on eBay or Mercari. I would love to hear if anyone else wants to try to do this. And if you do try to do it, let me know if this video helped in that process. But once again, thank you guys for all your support, all the likes and the comments, and subscribing and watching these videos. Every little bit helps. So every video you watch, every time you comment, every time you like, that helps me grow this channel, and that just makes me happy to be able to share my collection with y'all, maybe inspire y'all with new ideas for your collection. And as always, this is a safe place for us as toy collectors, as action figure enthusiasts. So if you're going through something, because I know life is tough out there for a lot of us, if you're going through something, leave a prayer request below. I read every comment, try to respond to every comment, and I'll make sure to be able to pray for you and have your back in whatever situation you're going through. But guys, thank you once again for watching this video all the way through. And as always, I can't wait for the next video. Don't know if it'll be Marvel or DC or WWE, but I'm excited to keep sharing my customs and my upgrades and my figure fixes with all of you out there. So once again, thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.